All right, what's going on, everybody? Give me card stacks here. Small stack of mail, want to rip through it, see what I'm buying, what my thoughts are, all the good stuff. Let's see if we can learn something new. College football season is here. Donovan McCulley, I think I've probably bought 3 or 4 of these autos at this point, and that's probably 2 to 3 too many. But just an experiment. Autos were $3, so 6'5" receiver at Indiana. He hit the portal, came in as a quarterback, hit the portal this last season when Signetti came in, when they fired Tom Allen. Is that who their head coach was? Fired him, he hit the portal, he came back. So optimistic for Indiana. I'm a believer. I'm a buyer in Indiana for sure. That was a struggle. We still got more. Here we go, a little SGC slab. Addy Brown, 1010. This was, I think, $32 plus shipping. I'm probably $40 all in, but I am high on Addy Brown. I think a lot of the attention is on Audi Crooks. She was very, a prominent force, I guess, at the end of the season. A lot of people, I think she was freshman All-American. A lot of people were really high on her. I've been high. She doesn't have any cards. If she did, I'd definitely be buying, but I like Addy Brown. I like these McDonald's paper autos. These were signed on game day of the McDonald's All-American game. So they are fairly short printed. This one pretty well centered. That's usually the toughest part with these cards. But they sign them on game day. They're on-card autos. If I could do it all over again with my women's basketball and Topps Chrome McDonald's All-American, I would have been buying, this is just the PWE, just straight up in a bubble mailer with tracking. So I'm curious what this is. But if I were to do it all over again, I would not have bought any of like the sticker autos. I would have just stuck to on-card autos and just continued to buy the floor. So that's just my learning moment, I guess. Scarcity and the on-card auto will always win. Tez Johnson, 1 of 1 out of Auto Mania American FB. I didn't realize this, so I talked about it when I first got it. That's like an eagle, and there you go. Now you can see it. Before I was like, dude, that is just a smudge that's on like every single car. Like, what terrible quality control. But that's literally, you can see there's the head, the beak, the eyes, the wings, the talons there. I didn't realize that. This is like a USA, I don't know. It's some sort of American Pride type set, flags, fireworks, American Eagles, everywhere. American Bald Eagles. 101, I don't know how much I paid for it. I paid bubble mailer with tracking, apparently, that got shipped in an envelope. $5.55 for shipping, yikes. Don't go to your post office. Go get yourself a label printer, and then go to pirateship.com, or I don't know, sure there's some other sites. You're gonna save time, you're gonna save money. So there you go. But Tez Johnson, one of the best receivers in the country, I would argue. Yeah, he's top 5 for me, easily. Top Luther Burden, Tetroa McMillan. Honestly, I'd probably go Tez, to be honest. I know Troy Franklin kind of took a lot of the shine last year. I'm not an Evan Stewart guy. I probably just missed a big-time receiver. But I honestly, Tez Johnson, and I love Oregon this year as well. So I'm taking Tez Johnson for sure. The NFL's not going to like him. He's a small guy, 5'10", 160. So he's probably 5'9", 155. Somewhere around there. But man, he's a baller for sure. All right, what do we have here? I'm just gonna toss that. Sometimes I save team bags, sometimes I don't. Evan Stewart, not a bad little sapphire to throw in, and then Will Shepard now at Oregon and Colorado. Again, I just mentioned Evan Stewart, not huge on him, but Ricky White, sapphire, yellow. Been buying up the floor on Ricky. Kind of bought. Whenever I say I buy up to the floor, I buy up to the point where I don't want to be at that price. I buy at the price that I want to, and then anything that I leave left over, I'm not touching it unless I can get an auction or something. But things really have to change where, I start seeing a jump in Ricky White now where people are starting to buy at that floor. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Might as well. Like, it's happened right now with Jacob Cowing. His stuff is kind of going up. And I just paid up on ComC, what I think is a pay up, $14 for a magenta auto. It is above comps technically, but his stuff is kind of creeping up. So that's what we got here. So we got a little on it and some throw-in base, Sione Vaki, and Jaden Rowe. No clue on either of them. I'm just gonna toss those. Sione Vaki, blackout, Utah, but now he's with Detroit, the Lions. He got drafted. Sione Vaki, see, this is the problem with media and mainstream. They're all talking about Colorado. I get it. You know, there's a lot of hype and attention around that program. You know, people, you know, the two-way player, Travis Hunter, all of this, you know, previously the Jabril Peppers and who was the kid at USC. I'm just thinking Domani Jackson right now. Oh my God. Adoree Jackson. There we go. So there's been a lot of two-way players. No one was talking about Sione Vaki last year. I get it. Cam Rising was out. That was kind of the heart and soul. Still won, 8-9 games with 2 backup quarterbacks. So nonetheless, Sione Vaki was a safety, and they moved him over to running back. He was a two-way player. Now he's with Detroit, and they have him at running back. I bought this when Jahmyr Gibbs was rumored to have a torn ACL or Achilles or whatever, and I was like, yo, I think Sione could be a dude. So I think Sione, I looked him up yesterday, coincidentally. I think he's doing pretty well, and people really like him. He's a hard runner. I really like watching him. I hope he does well. He's from Antioch, California. Curious what high school. Big time ball out there, so. Just a little prospecting play. That was like $4, so nothing crazy there. And then here we go. Little I'm not even gonna try to say it. I wouldn't even know how to say it, how to spell it. But one of my favorite players in the product. I've talked about him many times. I feel like where he is, he's always been my favorite running back compared to Trevor Etienne. He started at Louisiana Lafayette, the Ragin' Cajun. He was an Arizona commit from Louisiana, backed off last second, went Louisiana Lafayette, staying close to home, won freshman Sun Belt Player of the Year, transferred to Florida after that year. I think he's had a consistent 600 to 800 yards each season. He did just undergo some sort of a procedure. He got hurt in practice, and they're like, oh, he could miss some time. I bought it right after that. This was going at auctions for $225 starting bid, and I'm pretty sure I kept watching it go over and over and over. Reached out to the person, and I was like, hey, you taking offers on this? And they're like, yep. And then they found me on Instagram, and I was like, hey, I'd do 160. And they're like, okay, cool. Took a couple days to ship, but happy with this card. Montrell Johnson, 101 right there. Really cool card. All right, and then a little Jackson Dart here. This was thrown in the Good Deals Discord. I bought it, and I'm taking a chance. It's got pretty noticeable dimple right there, but there is a favorite in the autos, not great. Definitely where he's trying to cross his T there. Definitely not the greatest, but I think I paid all in about 70-ish bucks, maybe close to 80, but there was just a 9 that did like 120 at auction. So feel good. Again, I'm not scared to lose money. I'm not scared to, lose my 13% on it and move on if I have to. I'm willing to take the chance to, let's just say I bought this for 70. I'm willing to lose $10 in fees, and that's, far greater. Willing to lose $10 to try to sell this for 100 and make 30. That changed my perspective in buying immensely. And from there, I just became more confident in buying. I wasn't scared. The card's not going to zero. He could tear his ACL. He could, do some not great things. It's not going to zero. I'm not losing all my money. Sure, if he ends up in prison tomorrow, it definitely takes a hit, but I'm willing to take the chance on guys that I believe in, players that I believe in. It's a no-brainer. All right, I'm trying to open this up. This is a storage box, a 2-row for singles, and this is actually packaged pretty well, I would say. My slab box was not, and it came wrecked. Oh, that was actually already folded up. This is just wrapped up in. All right, I'm just gonna pull this behind so I can unwrap this. All right, so it looks like you have to construct this. Okay, all right, well, this is gonna take some time, I imagine. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, so hopefully this is correct. I don't know. I'm literally gonna have to look up directions on how to do this because this looks scary. So, bought a storage box. I think that's gonna help. You know, I was feeling overwhelmed. My cases were full. I think it's gonna be nice to just store everything and keep it much better organized and intact compared to just my Zion case and then stuff kind of here and there. I've got a little cart next to my desk with my Xbox and some cards here. So I think that's gonna help. So solid mail day. I really liked this one. Jackson Dart, gold auto, little dimple. I'm okay. Montreal 101. Sione Vaki, just a cheap little play. He doesn't have any cards, he doesn't have many. He has autos. You won't find one for under 35 bucks. If you see one in a value bin, scoop it up immediately. That person doesn't know what they're doing. Ricky White, yellow sapphire, a couple throw-ins. Appreciate it. Tez Johnson 101. We'll see how these do. I don't know. I've never really bought Mania, Wild Card, whatever these are. Auto Mania. Yeah. Donovan McCulley, and then a nice little slab, Addy Brown. I just think slabs, they're way easier to move, and I think there's just a solid floor to them. So that's why I've been buying a lot of those slabs. You can pick up her autos for 20 bucks. I figured for, you know, the cost of grading, I might as well guarantee a gem, and I don't have to wait. So that's kind of my thought on a lot of the graded stuff. So that's everything. If you enjoyed, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next video. Peace.